What's going on, everybody? This is Paul, your hip-hop relationship and recovery coach, bringing to you another episode of Kick Your Butt Out. As usual, before I get off into the content of the day, I have to say what I always say, and I strongly encourage you to get this into here so that we can incorporate this into our lives. And that is, if you're looking for a butt, it's going to always be easy to find one. And that, my friends, is a promise. All right. Excuse me. So let's get off into what we want to talk about. What I want to talk about today. Last week's episode was titled "My Assignment," but that has kind of been on my heart, on my spirit, in my mind, just kind of ringing for maybe the past week and a half, 2 weeks. And so I feel like I'm being led to continue this conversation about the assignment. And that's why I've decided to title today's episode of Kick Your Butt Out, "My Assignment, but Part 2. All right. So that's the title of today's episode. Another thing that I want to say is that none of these episodes, none of the titles, none of the episodes, none of the content of Kick Your Butt Out is ever encouraging, inspiring, or speaking to poor Paul, poor me. Never. I'm never inspiring anybody to say poor Paul. I'm never encouraging anybody to say poor Paul. None of my episodes is designed to say that. Although it's going to be some things in there that some people may say that, right? And so I don't want you to say poor Paul, because I'm not a victim. I'm actually a victor. I've never, through all the stuff that I've been through in my life, I've never taken the victim stance towards it, right? I've always had the victor type of mindset and mentality. So you're hearing me speak from a victor's standpoint always. All right. Now, when we talk about assignment, right? I've been kind of doing some reflecting, and from a work and a spiritual standpoint, I've been really doing, I've been doing the work, and even improving upon the work that I've been called to. I've been picking up the pace, have gotten out of fear, have gotten out of complacency. I've gotten out of a lot of things that have been keeping me from doing the assignment. Let me say it like that. That has been keeping me in the butt stages and having me play outside or go outside rather than do the work. I've gotten more into the work and less of the play. Let me put it to you like that. And I'm really grateful for the place that I'm in terms of what God has called me to from a work standpoint, from a volunteer outreach, even from the paid standpoint. Been doing whatever I've been called to, and I'm always open to other things in those areas, because one of the things, if nothing else, one of the things that you're going to know about Paul, the recovery and relationship coach, the hip-hop recovery and relationship coach, the Kick Your Butt Out podcaster, the Move I Have Greatness to Do movement guy, one of the things that you're going to always know about me is that I want to see people's lives improve. I want to see the quality of people's lives get better. I want to see people live instead of dying or living in survival mode. I've always been that way, even when I was a mess, more so now than I'm not. So let me make sure that I get all of those things out of the way. So when it comes to that part of my assignment, I've been doing what I'm supposed to do and even improving upon it. But one of the assignments that I've been called to, I have not been diligent in the work. I have not been consistent in the work. And as I said last week, sometimes I wanted to go outside and play, so I would either rush and do the work and not get it right, or wouldn't do the work at all. And in this part, I've been guilty of that. And I'm talking about from a physical standpoint. Just in case you didn't know, whoever's listening to this podcast, just in case you didn't know, we are all on assignment from a physical standpoint as well. We are assigned to take care of our bodies as well. That's a part of it. And I want to talk about that today because many of us out there, myself included, I'm the first in line to say I'm guilty, have been getting the failing grade from that standpoint. So, as some of you, or maybe all of you out there know, that I had suffered, right, from substance use disorder for 30 years. And I remember in 2015, when I started this journey of healing and recovery, one of the first things that I did was I made appointments with all of the doctors, the eye doctor, the dentist, my physical doctor. I was already seeing a therapist, saw a psychiatrist. I'm doing it all. I'm making sure I'm doing it all. I got in contact with my spiritual leaders and got connected with them. So I want to make sure that I'm covering all the bases to rebuild my life in all aspects and in all areas. And one of them was my physical, right? So when I went and did my physical examination, did all of the blood work, tested the blood pressure, you name it. I did everything that needed to be done. And so when my doctor scheduled an appointment to come in and get the results. So when I got into her office and she came into the room, she had this crazy look in her face. And so now in my mind, I'm thinking something is wrong, kind of scared. And she said to me, Mr. Yerby, the number of years that you said you used heroin, because I snorted heroin, the number of years that you have used heroin and you don't have any serious health issues, there has to be someone that has their hand on you. So whoever that is, you need to make sure you stay connected to whoever has their hand on you, because under normal circumstances, by the time patients get to me who has used drugs for that long or alcohol, they have many health issues and you have none. The only thing that's going on with you is that your blood pressure is up and your cholesterol levels are up, and that has everything to do with your diet and nothing to do with the drugs that you have used in a number of years that you have used the drugs. So again, I didn't have any serious health issues. I had the blood pressure thing going on and a high cholesterol thing going on, and it had everything to do with my diet. So I'm feeling really good about myself. Again, that was a motivation for me. I'm at the gym regularly, doing my thing, taking care of my body and all of that kind of stuff. And I remember in 2018, it was Mother's Day weekend. I went to Chicago to visit my mother and relatives, and my cousin kept talking to me about this documentary, right? I didn't want to hear nothing about no documentary talking about meat, because I'm in Chicago. If you know anything about Chicago, Chicago is known for good food. I'm at the pizza, I'm getting the chicken, I'm doing the whole 9 yards. And again, my cousin continuously talking to me about this documentary. And they eat meat. Let me say that. They're not vegetarians at all, in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Never been vegetarian, vegan, none of that, in no way, shape, form, or fashion. So anyway, Mother's Day came, and after we came from breakfast, she put the documentary on. I saw the documentary, stopped eating meat that day. Done. I don't want meat no more. That's nasty, that's gross. That was my mindset. So anyway, I stopped eating meat, Mother's Day 2018. So now, June, I was scheduled to go and do my regular physical checkup. And so I go and do my physical checkup, and I haven't eaten meat since Mother's Day, up until my appointment, which was, I don't remember the date, in June, but it was in June. It was before Father's Day, I know that for sure. Anyway, so again, the doctor, does everything, checks everything out, schedule an appointment to come back a couple of days later to get the results. And I'm taking my blood pressure medication and my cholesterol medication daily, right? And so when I get to her office, she comes in her room, she has this crazy look on her face again, right? And she was like, "What have you been doing?" I said, "Well, I've gone vegetarian." She said, "Do you know that all of your electrolytes are in healthy numbers now? Everything is healthy. Like, you're not borderline, you're not high. All of your numbers are extremely healthy numbers." And I said, "I've not been eating meat." And she said, "Well, you may want to keep it going that way, because it's a proven fact that because you've changed your diet, your health has gotten a whole lot better." And she said, "As a matter of fact," now, let me kind of rewind it. I was told that I was going to have to take these medications for the rest of my life, which is have blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication, right? And so anyway, she said, "Your numbers are great. Stay on a vegetarian diet, and you can even wean yourself off of these medications. You don't need them anymore." And I didn't need them anymore, right? So I stopped taking them. Fast forward, roughly in 2021, 22-ish, I went back to a meat-based diet. And I can show you better than I can tell you. Right here. I've not been doing the assignment. Blood pressure, cholesterol. I'm back on them again because I have not been doing the assignment. I have not been taking care of my physical health. And it's dangerous for me not to take care of my physical health, because I've been called to a work. And I know that this work that God has called me to has some longevity to it, meaning that this thing is going to go for a number of years, and I need to be healthy in order to, one, be able to do the work, and even to be here to do the work. And so I have to stop playing, because one of the things that I've been doing is fried foods, processed foods, frozen foods, cookies, sweets, you name it. It's embarrassing when I think about it. I always said it in a funny way, but it's embarrassing that when I walk into Popeyes, the one that's in my neighborhood, the customer service people already know what I want. They start, everybody start making my meal for me. Before I even order, they know what it is that I want. And that's not a good thing. You don't want to be known for that. And so I'm actually starting a fitness challenge on Monday the 24th with Eric Thomas and his people. I have to do this because, again, this is unnecessary. I don't need to have this if I'm doing the work that I'm supposed to do. If I'm doing my assignment the way that it's supposed to be done, I'm not going to need this stuff, and you won't either. Let me say it to you like this. One of my childhood friends who's in recovery as well, someone had said it to him and he quoted it to me. He said that it doesn't make sense for God to save us from the sharks, for us to only end up dead on dry land. And what that means for me is like, he saved you. It doesn't make sense for God to save you from dying from drug addiction, for you to end up dying because you're not eating right. Doesn't make sense. And so I have to change that. That has to stop being a but. I have to stop going out and play and stay in the house and do the assignments that I need to do. And one of those assignments is my physical health. I got to start eating right. You have to start eating right. We have to take better care of our bodies because, again, we are on assignment. The other thing that's kind of the other point that I want to talk about when it comes to this is my younger brother. He's like a brother to me. I've raised him and been around him ever since he was, maybe 2 or 3 years old. But one of the things that he talked about, and it's true, he said many of our spiritual leaders, many of us, many people who out there that are motivators and encouragers and spiritual leaders and doing all of this stuff and these things to pour positivity into people's lives and to add value to people's lives. Many of them out there are doing awesome work, awesome assignments from that standpoint. But when you look at their health is terrible. They overweight, they out of shape, you name it. And I was just like, wow, that is so true. I never paid that attention until he brought that up. And I'm like, wow, that is so true. Many of our leaders, many of our spiritual leaders out there doing their thing in terms of the work and the assignment, again, of helping to better the quality of people's lives from a mental, emotional, relational, spiritual, financial, all of those different standpoints, but their health is terrible. And we dying before our time because when it comes to our bodies, instead of us doing the assignments or doing the homework, we out there playing. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be, 500 pounds. You can still be 200-300 pounds, 100 and some pounds, and internally you all messed up because you're not eating right. And so my people, I want to invite you there on this challenge with me. Let's do our physical assignments. Let's do our physical work. Let's do what we need to do to get off of these unnecessary medications that we have to take because of the fact that we won't eat the way that we're supposed to eat or the way that we need to eat. Here's another thing that bothers me about this whole situation. Much of the food that I eat, the people who manufacture that food, the people who selling that food to me, they probably won't even have it in their house. Period. It's not on their diet. Period. Yet, and I'm not blaming them because none of them put a gun to my head and made me come and buy their food. Not one of them. Excuse me. I've done all of this willingly. And so I have to kick my butt out as it relates to that. And I'm starting now because this is ridiculous. There's no way that I should have to be back on this after I've been cured, after I've been healed from this madness. There's no way that I need to be back on this medication again. It's almost like relapse from substance use or drinking or whatever. That's what this is like. That's what this is like for me. I feel like I relapsed, and I don't like this at all. So people, we have to kick our butt out as it relates to thinking that we can just eat what we want to eat and not take care of our bodies, not take care of the assignment that we have been called to and that we have been given in relation to our body. Because for all of you out there who are believers, it says that we are many parts but one body, right? And so the other parts need me to be my part. The other parts of the body needs you to be your part as well. And so how can we be our part if we're not healthy? How can we be our part if we got heart disease and high blood pressure and high cholesterol and diabetes and all of these other physical ailments because we're not eating the way we need to be eating? So people, from me to you and from you to me, from God to us, our bodies are a part of the assignment. And we cannot be outside playing and not do the work that needs to be done to take care of this. Because if we don't take care of this, how can we take care of all the other things that God has called us to? Please, let's do this thing together. Let's work together. Even if you don't work with me, find somebody that's going to help you kick your butt out as it relates to the assignment of taking care of your body. Find someone that's going to help hold you accountable. Find someone that's going to keep you committed. Find someone that'll even run this race with you. And you don't have to run fast. It does not have to be quick. It just needs to be done and done right. Because again, my people, if you are still on this earth, we're on assignment. And it's just that simple. I can't make it any more plain than that. If you're still on this earth, we're on assignment. So let me know what you all think about this. Please comment, share, like, post, repost, subscribe. Get others to subscribe if you possibly can. But I would love to see what you all think about what it is that I'm talking about, because again, we need to get rid of the unnecessaries so we don't have to experience the unnecessaries in our lives. This is Paul, y'all, your hip-hop relationship and recovery coach. I love every one of y'all. There's absolutely nothing you all can do about it. I'm looking forward to moving forward with you all, supporting you all, encouraging you all, cheering you all on. And I asked if you could do the same with me. So let's talk about this. Thank you all so much. Until we see each other again next time, y'all be well, do the next right thing. God bless every last one of you. Peace.